This video app review is brought to you by the iPhoneAppReview.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Luke Patrick with the iPhoneAppReview.com. Today we're slinging out yet another video review, this time taking a look at an application called Liberto the Monster, which is available for $2.99 in the iTunes App Store. And it's yet another application aimed at children, which we've seen a lot of recently, and historically, I guess, too. A lot of that coming out. Anyway, this application happens to be within the ebook-ish genre. Typically when we talk about these children's applications, they either fall into the ebook, which is a more traditional sort of reading style for an application, or they happen to be more of a minigame sort of concoction. However, this one combines both in a very unique way, which we'll talk more about in just a second. But before we get in there, let's go ahead and tap settings really quick so you can see what's going on. I got a couple different languages here. You can Espanol and English if you would like. We do have music, FX, and voice on. Though I may turn that off as we go along just so you can hear me a little bit better. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and jump straight in. This is, of course, Liberto the Elf that we will be seeing more of in just a second. Here are all your directions, which the application will give you as soon as you boot it up. If you're a smaller child, obviously you're not watching this review, but if you're the parent of a smaller child, this is, of course, all for you, and not so much for your child, so to speak. Anyway, so now that that's here, let's go ahead and just tap it, and I'll explain myself how all of this works. If you would like for this to be read to you, you can actually hit this button, and it will be read to you, which we're going to turn off for this. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn the sound off. We'll go through this as if you were a slightly older child and you wanted to read this yourself at your own pace, and then sort of flick through the pages as you might. You can pull this down at any point to see more of the actual artwork, which is nice. Speaking of the artwork, it's got a very simple style, and in some areas it is a bit crude, as in these landscapes here. Well, crude is maybe not the word we'd use, but in this sense it's very simplistic. However, you've got other areas that are much more detailed. So for instance, this castle is of course very detailed. One of the cool aspects of this application is that you can tap anything on the screen to receive input. So we've got that, we've got birds flying by, etc., etc. If at any point you want to return home or need to mess with the settings, that's there. The home button's there as well. With that in mind, if you want to reload the page, you can you can simply tap the reload button, and life is good. You can swipe as well, which is nice. The story involves a bunch of mysterious noises emerging from the dungeon of the castle and sort of bothering the natives, who are these guys here. So you'll need to get to the bottom of that. We won't say any more, so we won't spoil it. But as you can see, the artwork included here, another aspect of it is that it has these sort of painted landscapes, but also these 3D characters, which you can tap to receive feedback, which is really nice. We love these touches, especially for these children's applications, because we find that really the children enjoy it quite a lot, and it's just nice to be able to reward them for exploring the world. This setup also actually happens to really enforce the world dynamic, which is something that we enjoyed quite a bit. And that is basically how the app works. You've got all of these navigation elements included. Very simple, just very tap-based, tap or pull, etc., etc., which is very usable as far as younger children go. So we appreciate that. As many of you parents know, children are very adept at using iPads and iPhones, so they'll very quickly pick up on this. We have no concerns about that. Our only real concern with the application is that we happen to see a lot of the same landscapes. So for instance, as we flick through this, all of these have been different, and then things start to repeat a little bit. We'll see a lot of the throne room. Also, the text is a bit bulky at times, so maybe this isn't exactly appropriate for smaller children without the reading, but then again, it's always a great excuse, these kinds of apps, for you to curl up with your child on the couch at the end of the day and read a story to them, so we appreciate that. One of the coolest things about the app is that every single page has different animations. We enjoy this a lot. Furthermore, we do actually like the sort of stop-motion-y look of the characters themselves, so we appreciate that immensely. As far as value goes, it is $2.99, which is if you've ever bought a traditional book, then you realize the fact that that is very, very cheap compared to so much as, like, say, $15, which we've paid for children's books before. So $3 is nothing to ask, especially considering the value that you're going to get here. And it is worth noting that the developers have honestly put a ton of effort into making this a quality production, something that your child will really love. We really like that in these kinds of apps because it comes through, and it's not just a cheap production that's been put out to make money. Obviously, they care a great deal. So supporting that sort of thing is always a good idea in our book. All of that just to say that Liberto the Monster is a very great children's application. It's one of our favorites thus far that we've ever seen. We've seen a lot of them. I was hoping that that would do something. I hadn't tried that before. So with that in mind, the $3 that you're going to spend is an excellent bargain. And Liberto and the Monster gets a 4.5 out of 5-star rating from us here at the iPhoneAppReview.com. And that's all we have to say about it. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, but we will see you guys later. Bye.